I'm building these carburetors up for the BMW, and I've got a beat in my bonnet about this BMW spark plug that's broken into the cylinder head, and it is there. You can see it's just broken in there. You can see the tube, as it were, of the old spark plug, and I've got a kind of beat in my bonnet about getting it out. Now this is something I've done numerous times before, but not with a spark plug. And what I need to do, that spark plug, and this may not be the right way to do it, and if it's not, you'll never see this film. I'm going to try and collapse that tube inward by cutting a slot in it with a hacksaw and just easing it in to break it free of the side of the thread. If I use a stud extractor, which is this thing here, these are stud extractors. And if I use that and put that into the thread, it's left-hand thread, so you can screw that in and it bites, and you can undo a seized nut or something like that. But in the case of a tube, what tends to happen is it just swells it. The pressure of the reverse thread and the taper just forces it out into the thread and makes it even worse. You're never going to get it out. So using a stud extractor is not going to work. So I need to try something else. And as I say, this may not be the right way, but I'm going to I've got a hacksaw blade, and I've cut that down. I've ground that, that's the normal hacksaw blade thickness, and that's the thickness that I need to get into the... I'm coming through from the bottom, so I'm going to go into it like this, and start cutting a slot, and well, I've actually started to cut a slot already, but and I'll just kind of go like this and work away gently at this. It'll take a while, but I'll just cut away gently at that until I've cut a slot deep enough that it is right through to the bottom of the thread. Now you can't go, you've got to be careful, which I shall be, but I'm hoping I've left the spark plug tang on there. As you can see, the spark plug electrode is still sitting there. You probably can't see that. But perhaps I can bend that back in and use that. Once I've got this thing collapsed, I've got the thread collapsed, and the pressure off the side of the thread, I'll squirt some penetrating oil in there and leave it overnight, and with luck it'll wind out either in or out. And if I have to cut it through both sides to collapse it, I will do. But it gets harder to get them out when you do that. So let's just give it a go and we'll see what's what. I'm not going to film it all because I'll be sawing away here for half an hour or so. So leave it with me and I'll come back to you. Right guys, actually that only took about 5 minutes and I'm through. I'll just show you. If you can see the little slot, oh yeah, if I put that against that light you can maybe see it. There's actually a slot in the tube now. Likewise, from the other side, you just see that, and you can usually feel when you get through the metal, the mild steel of the spark plug, or into the different metal. It feels different, and I don't mean it feels all spongy, like aluminium. You can just feel that you're cutting a thread because it makes a kind of rasping noise. So. Actually, I can actually see the thread in the bottom of that. So, normally what I would do, I'd put something on the part of the tube nearest the cut and try and fold it in, just to take the pressure off. But that pressure will be off now anyway. But given that the metal's, it's quite heavy metal, so I am going to cut another slot on the other side and just see if that will enable both halves of the tube, once I've got two slots in, to be pulled away from the thread at the side, and then I can get them out. Let's give it a go. Right guys, I've got, as you can see there, against that lighter background, come on, where's that light background went? There. You can see I've got two slots cut in that thread. And I'll put a light behind it. You can see I've got 2 slots cut in that, and I'm gonna let's show you from this side. There we go. I think you can see that. Yeah, you can. That's quite a good representation. And what I'm going to do tomorrow, I've given it a squirt of penetrating oil. I'll leave it overnight, and in the morning I'm going to come back and I'm going to put a little bit of heat around the plug hole from both sides, try and expand that cylinder head away from the thread of the spark plug, and then break those, not break, but just ease those 2 bits of the spark plug, or one of them, in, and I can get that out. The other one come out quite easily. So let's give it a whirl, and we'll see what the morning brings. Right guys, 24 hours later, and what I've done, I got this hacksaw blade, which I think I showed you yesterday. I ground that down. You can see that's the proper thickness of it generally there, but I've ground that down so it would fit through the centre of the hole that I drilled through the spark plug, and I cut 2 slots in the old spark plug. I tried to get out, it didn't want to come, so I cut a 3rd slot in next to one of the other slots so I could get a thin sliver out, and I managed to. This is it. That's the thin sliver, just there, and you can see now I've managed to fold. Hang on, let me get a light. I've managed to fold the old part of the spark plug in there, which you can just see there. So what I'm going to try and do now is get the rest of that out and then fold the rest of its little mate in, and then I'll have the spark plug hole saved. So is that any better? Can you see that? No, that's, I think, makes it worse, but you can actually see the shadow of it there. But what I'll do, let me see if I can get that piece out now. I'll do it where you can see it. I'll turn that towards you. Let me see if I can get hold of that and ease it out. I'll just tap it out. I'm going to tap it outwards rather than inwards. I get a little fudge. I'll go on here somewhere. There we are. Let's tap that out. And that's one part of it there. And if I can just get the other bit out now, that should be easier. I've left the tang on the old spark plug, the old electrodes there. Maybe I can get hold of the electrode and maybe just to twist that in. Or just in fact rotate the whole thing out. No, that's not going to work, but let's get this now. And now that there's no, you can see there, I hope you can see, that's just actually moved away from the side of the thread. So I can maybe, by tapping that in there now, and that in there, I've got it away from the edge of the thread now. And that may screw out. Can you see that? I'll put that where you can see it. And I'll try and get hold of that with something. And allow me, if I can unscrew it, that's always the best way. Those pliers are not really the right shape for that. I need something. These are not not strong enough. Perhaps these will do it. Now when I've got this out, I can, it's not want to come, but I'm determined it's coming. I can put my thread cleaner in there and save that old thread. And that negates the need for heli-coil or any of that nonsense. See, that's turning now. It doesn't really want to turn very well. I can give it another little tap there and collapse it in a bit further without damaging the cylinder head. Come on. That's coming out now. Oh, it's not coming out hugely happily, but it is winding itself up the thread, I think. And there we have it. Great result. And the thread looks a little bit careworn, but you can see there where I've had to cut the slots in it. Oh, yeah, maybe you can't see it at all. But one way or another, I can honestly say I'm delighted with that. So I'm going to put my thread cleaner in that. Now, lots of the guys you're seeing on YouTube show you how to get a spark plug that's broken in the cylinder head, but it's just one that's broken in, but it's not seized. And as you saw, this one was badly seized. So I'll put that in there now. Screw it into the thread, and then I run that up the thread to get a really good grip, and then I can just run that fully down there, and that will clean that thread up as nicely as you like, one hopes. And we've got a win. You should be paying me for this stuff. So let's have a look at that now, and that just runs down the thread. And I can just feel that there. It's a little bit loose than I'd like it to be. Sorry about the pliers, but what you need to do is just to make sure it's tightened on. The cutters are really tightened onto the thread. And I'll take that back out now. Let's see what it looks like. I think we'll find we'll get a spark plug into that. That'll be very serviceable. Let me get a spark plug. Any old plug will do. No, that doesn't want to go just yet. So I'm going to clean up a bit more. I'll come back in 5 minutes when I've done this. I'm going to clean it from the bottom out, so as those rough edges have gone, and I get a nice start on it. Let's have a go. Right, I've cleaned this up now, so you can see the little thread cutter coming through there, and you can see all the gunk that has cut out the thread. I'm going to start again at the top and run it down once more. So we know we've got our thread cleaned all the way down. all the way back out. See if I can get that spark plug to start. In fact, that might be a spark plug that I declined to use last week because I didn't like the look of it. It's taken out of the head. Yes, it is. That's a spark plug that's got, you can see some old cylinder head in the threads there. That's why that one didn't want to start. Clang! Never mind. No harm done. The thread's super clean now. So I'll go get a spark plug that's in a better state than that one. And I'll see if it'll start. It's not a spark plug for this bike, but I'm not intending to start it right now. Okay, that's the one off a 504, I think. Well, it's starting the thread. You bet it will. More importantly, will it tighten up without pulling the threads out the cylinder head? Have I got a spark plug for that? Plug spanner. Now guys, that's going to be perfect. That'll do, won't it? Please make checks payable too. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. A real win for us, so I can start building this up now. I've got lots of the bits today. I ordered them yesterday from a company called James Sherlock, and the service is absolutely fantastic. And, you know, I don't espouse anyone's business, as I've told you before now, but you've got to recognise good service. And I ordered the bits yesterday, so I've got valves. I've got the little stanchions that sit, on here. I've got the rockers. I've got valves, valve cups, top and bottom. I'm going to clean this head up. I'll decoke the exhaust valves, and I've got piston rings and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to get this built up across the next. We're going to get this built up across the next few days, and I'll take you on the journey. And let's get a run out with this old girl. Cheers, guys. Keep watching.